Jeff Ayler, it's like you're radioing them directly, because immediately at the 5-minute mark, we heard the turbines begin to spool. Time to stand up. 1, 2, 3, 4. H1 Unlimited hydroplanes come away from the dock. U1 to Miss Homestreet is first away. Jamie Nielsen this time is going to jump out. He was the third boat up the dock, but he's going to jump to an inside lane. Remember last time Nielsen took off away from the field up the backstretch. He's already got the jump on the field going down to turn 1 here at the start procedure, and Dustin Eccles this time comes up quickly onto a plane.
4:20 until the start, Brad. That's important for the drivers in the cockpit. That's part of their strategy in this race before the race. Right now, each driver does not know what lane they're starting in. This is the sequence. This is the race before the race. Usually the first one out is generally right on their timing marks. We'll see how it pans out.
Yeah, we're also going to see if anybody wants to cut the race course right now. They can cut the course from back to front on the top end of the GP race course. Our first 3 boats, which are Jamie Nielsen and the Legend Yacht Transport, the Beacon Electric, and the Miss Homestreet, have all decided not to do that. We'll see if maybe Dustin Eccles might want to cut the course. He could do so now, but it looks as though he too will go up underneath the Milton Madison Bridge. Everybody going up to the top end. I suspect part of that is go up and see what the water looks like up there.
3:30 until the start. Jamie Nielsen approaching the Madison Ford start-finish line buoy in the Chartreuse Royal Blue and Red Legend Yacht Transport. Following Jamie about 1,500 feet back is J. Michael Kelly in the dominant red U8 Beacon Electric. Just underneath the Milton Madison Bridge on the Indiana shoreline, the Homestreet Blue and White, Miss Homestreet, Dylan Runny in the cockpit. Behind Dylan in the Tennessee Orange. 3 minutes until the start. Dustin Eccles drives the Bucket List Racing. Brad, we're 2:55 away. Right now, still lots to decide. Which driver right now in that enclosed capsule feels, are they on their timing marks? Are they not on their timing marks? Do they need to go to plan B or C?
And are they in the lane they want to be? An interesting line for Dylan Runny down the front straightaway. He came down the front straightaway on the far outside. Behind him was Dustin Eccles, and now Dustin Eccles has moved to the inside of him. Runny left the door open for him, so he stepped inside of him. But still, to your point, a lot to decide as we come up on 2 minutes and 20 seconds. 2:20, Jeff.
Timing marks. When we get to 24 seconds, that's where the field would like to be at the entrance pin at turn number 2 to our left. Exit pin at turn number 2, 17 seconds. If you're at the Milton Madison Bridge on the front chute at 12 seconds, put the hammer to it. That's a good timing run. 2 minutes until Heat 1, H1 Unlimited.
So far, nobody has decided to cut across the race course, and now it looks like Jamie Nielsen with 150 is going to come down the front straightaway slowly. The other piece to the puzzle here, Jeff, and we've talked about it, you've got to maintain at least 80 miles per hour during this entire 5-minute period. That will be determined by the officials whether you did or did not when we go through tech inspection. But Jamie Nielsen at 1:30 is already across start-finish line. Kelly comes by. He is in lane 2. Nielsen sitting at 1. Right now, it is Dustin Eccles in 3, and on the outside, it looks like Dylan Runny. 1:15, Jeff, until our start.
By the positioning of the boats, no one elected to cut through the infield just past the start-finish line buoy to the back chute. They all go in turn number 1. We are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 1 minute period has begun for heat number 1 of H1 Unlimited at the Bob Hughes Memorial 73rd Madison Regatta, presented by U.S. Premier Tube Mills. Brad Lou, set these lanes for Heat 1.
Legend Yacht Transport, Jamie Nielsen. That is the Chartreuse and Royal Blue boat. He is sitting in lane number 1. He's the leader up the backstretch. Lane number 2, the bright red boat. That is the Beacon Electric. That is J. Michael Kelly in the U8. Lane number 3 is going to go to the bright orange U40. That is going to be Dustin Eccles in Bucket List Racing. It's going to be the hometown Miss Madison, Miss Homestreet on the far outside. Jeff Ayler inside, 23 seconds to the start. Let's start our 73rd Madison Regatta.
By my timing marks, everyone looks well behaved. Nielsen in 1, Kelly in 2, Eccles in 3, Runny in 4.
11,
There's 12 seconds. They're
9,
past the bridge.
8,
they see the
7,
Madison Ford start-finish
6,
line.
5,
we are now
4,
3, 2, 1. Mark. We're racing in H1 Unlimited Heat number 1 here on the Ohio good by my eye, and that was a legal start. Legal start. Heat number 1, H1 Unlimited, your leader in lane number 1, Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport.
Jamie Nielsen had the best start. He led him across start-finish line, and right now, he's got a full rooster tail. Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport. What a surprise up the backstretch. He's being chased by Dustin Eccles in the U40. Bucket List Racing. Then third place on the outside, Dylan Runny in the home street. J. Michael Kelly on an inside lane. Pulls up the rear. He is in fourth, but still a very tight field at the top end of the race course, Jeff Ayler. Remember, we go 3 times around. This will be the completion of lap number 1.
Nielsen in front. If he wins this one, it will be at the start. He was there first when the clock struck 0. He's got a comfortable margin. Jamie Nielsen, your leader. Legend Yacht Transport, Dustin Eccles in second. Now J. Michael Kelly and Dylan Runny side by side for third. Nielsen, 1 complete, 2 to go in the Legend Yacht Transport. Dustin Eccles in second. Bucket List Racing. J. Michael Kelly has moved to third in the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny in fourth in Miss Home Street. And Brad Luce, could this be the first upset of the weekend? Nielsen in front, and it's comfortable.
Yeah, it is a comfortable lead. He's actually opened up water. Keep an eye on J. Michael Kelly. He has closed a little bit of ground on Dustin Eccles in the Bucket List. There's a good race back there for second. But Jamie Nielsen rocking and rolling up the backstretch. He's halfway up there in the U11 Legend Yacht Transport. Got a comfortable rooster tail and a half on Dustin Eccles, and he can keep on his right side hip. We are just over halfway through this Heat 1 for H1 Unlimited. There is a good race developing for second place. Keep an eye on J. Michael Kelly in third, but at the top end, still Nielsen, Jeff.
Nielsen in front, the one-time Major League Baseball draftee by the Kansas City Royals. He loved boat racing. He's showing superior driving skill. And H1 Unlimited Heat number 1. White flag displayed, 2 complete, 1 to go, and Jamie Nielsen leads it, and it's comfortable. Second place to Dustin Eccles in the Bucket List Racing. Now Dustin going to the inside wake of your leader, and Kelly is behind him. That battle for second is not over. Running in fourth, Brad, your leader is Nielsen, but look at second. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, it might get tight in there for Kelly, and it does, because Dustin moved in a little bit. It was going to get tight for Kelly. He got in the rough water. He's still within a half a rooster tail of Dustin Eccles. They're going to come off the lower end of the race course, and now Dustin Eccles starts to open it up on J. Michael Kelly after Kelly got stuck in that rough water down in turn 1. But Jamie Nielsen is up to the Milton Madison Bridge. You said it, Jeff. Could we have our first upset of the weekend? This is a doozy if the story holds. Jamie Nielsen is at the top end of the race course. He gets to the exit pin now, and he's just got to come down the front straightaway. He will pick up first place for the U11 Legend Yacht Transport.
Jamie Nielsen, your 5th fastest qualifier of the 5-boat H1 Unlimited.
Kelly is
field.
down.
And we got Kelly down, checkered flag waving. Here's your winner of H1 Unlimited Heat number 1. It's Jamie Nielsen in Legend Yacht Transport. Second place will be the Bucket List Racing. We got a battle for third. Running in the home street. Here comes Kelly on the inside, and J. Michael Kelly will get... Oh, third place, I'm going to give it to Kelly by about 14 feet over Dylan Runny in the Miss Home Street. That's unofficial because we're a little bit sideways at the German-American Bank judges stand looking at the Madison Ford start-finish line. Jamie Nielsen, your unofficial winner of Heat number 1. He won it right at the start, the best start. Lane number 1, shorter way around, textbook driving.
Absolutely. Jamie Nielsen was just superb in that heat. My apologies to our fans as J. Michael Kelly is going dead in the water down in the lower corner. My apology, Jeff. At the top end of the race course, Kelly really got in some soup up there, and the boat really slowed down. That's why all of a sudden you had the home street right alongside him. But a great run for Kelly to pick up third when they came home. But the story of this one, it is chartreuse and royal blue with a bunch of red trim. Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport. They are going to be extremely happy. I'm looking to our left. Scott Rainey is to our left. He's standing there with Jean Theoret.
5-minute period is in session for H1 Unlimited Heat number 2. Drivers, hit the trigger finger. Light up the Lycoming.
And they're doing exactly that. Jeff Ayler, first away from the dock was J. Michael Kelly. He's the third boat from the right. He's headed out toward the center of the race course. He will turn to the right and head down to the lower corner. He's going to see off to his right that Dylan Runny is already up and gone. and he is on the outside going down the front straightaway between boats. It is our top qualifier, Corey Peabody. He will be the third boat to go down to the lower end. 1, 2, 3 down at the lower end and away from the dock, as he has been the last 2 times. And I say 2 times because they had the one heat that didn't start. Trailing the field away from the pit area, Dustin Eccles in that bright orange U40.
For our guests, race fans along the shoreline here in Madison, 2 1/2 mile course, it will be a 3-lap heat here in heat number 2 with H1 Unlimited. Right now, this is what we call the milling period. Each driver does not know which lane they will start at. This is that race before the race. This is where your timing marks come into importance in qualifying and in testing. Right now, who has the best strategy? Only one of those 4 drivers know. We don't know. They know.
They know, and they're going to try and execute to a plan. The problem is if somebody else is going to try and execute to the same plan. That's what we're about to find out. Everybody went down to the lower corner and went all the way up to the top end of the race course underneath the Milton Madison Bridge. J. Michael Kelly's going to bring him down the front straightaway at 320. 320 before our start. Again, our boats cannot drop below 80 miles an hour. That is an aspect that will be found and determined during tech inspection. There are indicators aboard the boats, so they get an indication. If they start getting close to 80 miles an hour, they will know it. But we won't find out until after the heat is over. Side by side, Corey Peabody comes by with Dylan Runny, and then coming up behind the field, bright orange, Dustin Eccles, 2 minutes and 50 seconds, Jeff.
So the 3 of Kelly, Peabody, and Runny will go down to turn number 1. Dustin Eccles will elect to join them. He could have cut through the infield right there, but we'll go to turn number 1. We're coming up on 2 minutes and 35 seconds until H1 Unlimited heat number 2. The drone shot from H1 Unlimited. Now we go to the pan shot. Kelly leads him up the back chute, followed by Peabody and Runny. Eccles trailing back. Brad, prior to the start, you have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin at turn number 2, and right now there is still lots to decide.
Yeah, there's still lots to decide. I like where they are in the race course as we approach 2 minutes. J. Michael Kelly is right now sitting in lane number 1, but that could change. Now, look at Dustin Eccles. He starts to give it a squirt, and he's going to pull up to the rest of the field. And you made a great point, Jeff. Not this time at the top end of the race course, but the next time they go to the top end of the race course, whatever lane they are in, when they get to the entrance pin to turn 2, that's the lane they have to hold to the start-finish line. Then standard overlap rules apply. Jeff, 135 coming down the front straightaway.
Thank you, Brad. Right now the sequence would be Kelly, Peabody, Runny, and Eccles. I think Madison fans would love to see the home street blue and white more toward the buoy row, but right now everyone seems well behaved, but once again have to have that lane established prior to the entrance pin at turn number 2. Will we see the leapfrog activity? Beautiful shot up above turn number 1 from our H1 Unlimited video team. We're coming down to 1 minute. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark. 1 minute period is in session for H1 Unlimited heat number 2. Brad Luce set these lanes. Take them up to the Milton Madison Bridge.
I think we're going to see a quicker start, if it's possible, than we saw in that first heat. But on lane number 1, it's the Beacon Electric and J. Michael Kelly. Lane number 2 is the Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. Lane number 3 is the Powder Blue, the Home Street. And on the far outside is Dustin Eccles in the U40, the Bucket List Racing. Coming up on 35 seconds. I liked where they were coming off the lower corner at about a minute 6. Jeff, they're at the top end of the race course. Inside 30 seconds, it's heat 2 of H1 Unlimited. Get them going.
Thank you, Brad Luce. I like the alignment. This start maybe just a touch early. Feather that throttle. We're at 17 seconds. They're at the bridge. They're at 12. Put the hammer down. H1 Unlimited heat number 2. We are now 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, we're racing. We'll call it physically. Dustin Eccles led him across the line in lane number 4 in the Bucket List Racing. Up above with the drone in turn number 1. Eccles there first, but we look to the inside. Corey Peabody, your leader. In the Beacon Plumbing, J. Michael Kelly second. Runny third. Eccles fourth.
It is Strong Racing running 1-2, coming off the corner in lane number 2. It is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, and he's got his teammate J. Michael Kelly sitting in that left side rearview mirror on the inside lane. But Jeff, you don't see the other boats because they are right there with them. And look on the outside. You have got Dustin Eccles making a move on the outside. Very tight at the top end of the race course, Jeff. Anybody's race here.
The start was good for Tana Morissette with H1 Unlimited. Corey Peabody had the lane. He's in lane number 2, leads it. J. Michael Kelly back in second, but we got a battle for third between Dylan Runny and Dustin Eccles. We'll come down to complete lap number 1 of 3. It's Corey Peabody now comfortably in front. Kelly in second. Officially after lap 1, Eccles in third officially, Runny in fourth. Peabody comfortably in front. Kelly in second, the advantage to the buoy row. Eccles now in third, making 6 boat lengths. Brad loose off the turn. Peabody comfortably in front, but still some deciding to do for second, third, and fourth.
Yeah, that race for third and fourth is a barn burner right there. It is Dylan Runny right now with about a 3 or 4 boat length lead over Dustin Eccles on the outside. You can see the orange boat. All you see is the rooster tail. And look at Dylan Runny. He's got his sights set on J. Michael Kelly. This is still a very, very close boat race as we go underneath the Milton-Madison Bridge. This lap number 2 of 3. Top end of the race course, Corey Peabody's got his teammate off to his left. That's J. Michael Kelly. But he's also got Mears on the right side full of boats.
Peabody swung out. Corey Peabody has found some extra voltage, or J. Michael Kelly, he's still in the mix. White flag displayed, 2 complete, 1 more to go. Corey Peabody, your leader in the Beacon Plumbing, now making a 7 boat length advantage over J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny third in Miss Home Street, Dustin Eccles fourth in Bucket List Racing. Back into turn number 1 here on the Wild Bill Cantrell Memorial Racecourse. Peabody, your leader. Kelly still in second. Boy, it's rough off the turn.
Yeah, it's real rough coming off that corner, but they all got through it clean, and now our boats are starting to spread out a little bit. It is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. He's out by a full rooster tail over his teammate, J. Michael Kelly, in the Beacon Electric. But in the right side rear view mirror, J. Michael Kelly's got a lot of home street blue. He's going to have to drive a big race course because he's going to have to go wider than Corey Peabody is driving. That's going to be a real handicap. See how they come off the corner and how much room JMK has on the inside, and he's got a lot of it, Jeff. Bring him down. The checkered flag flies.
Your top qualifier, your leader underneath the Milton-Madison Bridge, Corey Peabody, eyeing the Madison Ford start-finish line buoy, checkered flag waving. Here's your winner of heat number 2 in H1 Unlimited, Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. J. Michael Kelly will get second in the Beacon Electric. Dylan Runny made a charge on the back chute on the last lap, but will settle for third in the Miss Home Street. And Dustin Eccles had the best start of all in the Bucket List Racing. But Brad, when you're in lane number 4, and no pun intended, that's handicap territory, covering too much territory.
We know the inside lane here on this particular race course can be really tough, but that doesn't mean they get better the further you go out. The sweet spot is somewhere in the middle, and you're right. Dustin Eccles had his hands full. He had a great start. He had a lot of boat speed. He was right in the mix for a bit. And I think when they came off the lower corner there at the beginning of lap number 3, I think his radio people probably made commentary to him, let him go. They're starting to move away. And the water was getting pretty soupy. But boy, strong racing. And you say no pun intended, they look pretty strong. Corey looked really strong.
Green flag.
The 5-minute period is in session. The trigger finger is on the igniter. Let's go.
And look who's coming out first. Something different than what we saw yesterday. Each time Dustin Eccles came out in the U40, the Bucket List Racing, he was the last one away from the dock. I mean, substantially behind everybody else. We didn't know if it was a problem, if it was planned. But this time, he popped it right out quick, and he's already down to the bottom end of the race course. He's past the entrance pin. So let's one time again run through the 4 boats that are going to run here in our Heat 3 of H1 Unlimited Racing, presented by the Dam family. It's the U8, the Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly. It's bright red. The bright white U9, Beacon Plumbing, Corey Peabody. The Chartreuse, Royal Blue, and red, the U11, Legend Yacht Transport, driven by Jamie Nielsen, and the aforementioned Bucket List Racing, bright orange U40, Dustin Eccles. Jeff, we're at 3 minutes and 55 seconds to the start. All our boats are up and running.
Thank you, Brad Luce. The preliminary heats are 3 laps. The Morgan Foods Indiana Governor's Cup Championship this afternoon will be a 5-lapper for H1 Unlimited. All 4 boats up and running. And this is the race before the race. Each driver right now does not know what lane they will be assigned in. And here's cutting through the infield, 2 of them. Brad, that strategy, that is legal in the warm-up period.
It's definitely legal. Jamie Nielsen cut the race course and came down the front straightaway. Now he is the leader coming down here, but he got followed by Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. Now we got a little bit of speed coming up. A couple of boats getting awful close together. Jeff Ayler down the front straightaway. J. Michael Kelly, and they're going to get tight. Going to get real tight in there. With Corey Peabody and the Beacon Plumbing. These guys came out of the bridge, they started putting their foot into it, and all of a sudden you realized it was a race to get to Corey Peabody. Don't know if the boats came together, but it got real tight right here on the front straightaway.
And Brad, with that, Eccles is slowed. He is in the wash right now, and he's going to go to the outside, so I think the fire might have got a little bit wet, and boy, a scary moment right here in the warm-up period for the Dam family. Heat number 3. We told you it's the race before the race, and there's some communication going on to the left of us. We'll see if there was any infractions on that. Stand by.
Yeah, so far we've heard nothing. We will monitor the radio, but we're going to call it as if nothing has
He's
occurred.
going right back between them.
Getting a look, absolutely he is. He, being J. Michael Kelly, is going to try and stick his nose, and there he does. He puts his nose in between Justin Eccles and teammate Corey Peabody. Eccles and Kelly got tight as they went to the top end of the race course. Lots of interesting action here in the race before the race. We said this is important, Jeff.
My apologies, Brad. I thought Eccles was going to go in between them again, but he is on the outside. So we are coming up on 1 minute and 45 seconds until the start in the warm-up period. Everyone's heart here along the shoreline stopped momentarily, but right now, those 3 crafts involved, they appear to be in fine shape. Brad, take a good look at them as they come by. This is the Legend Yacht Transport, followed by the Bucket List Racing on the outside, the Beacon Electric in the middle, followed by the Beacon Plumbing. We're 1:20 until the start, the field going down into turn number 1, and Brad Luce, Jamie Nielsen, the tactician driver, right now seems to be primed for that shorter way around. Lane number 1, we're coming up on the 1 minute period, and Nielsen looks like he'll pull it off again as we're inside 1 minute for the Dam family, heat number 3 in H1 Unlimited. Brad, take them up to the Milton Madison Bridge, set these lanes.
The boat that is out in front is the Chartreuse Royal Blue and Red. That is the U11 Legend Yacht Transport with Jamie Nielsen. Next to him in lane number 2 is the white U9 Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. J. Michael Kelly is driving the Beacon Electric, the U8. He is in lane number 3, and on the outside, it's going to be the bright orange Bucket List Racing with Justin Eccles behind the wheel. They are heading into the top end of the race course. They seem to be in good position. We're inside 25 seconds to the start. Jeff Ayler, start our Sunday race program.
Off the turn, this should be a super good start. They're approaching the Milton Madison Bridge. They are at the 12-second mark. It's the Dam family, H1 Unlimited, heat number 3. And here's Nielsen once again trying the strategy he did yesterday. He's coming to the line. We'll call it physically as we're racing in the Dam family. H1 Unlimited Heat 3 here at the Madison Regatta. Nielsen was there first. Start is under review. Nielsen might have been over. He would be the only one, I think, by my eye. Oh, Peabody is hooked. Peabody in the infield. He is hooked. And now Nielsen takes the lead. If Nielsen jumped, Kelly could vault to first, and Peabody trying to refire the Beacon Plumbing.
Yeah, he got pushed out a little bit wide. He started to slide out close to J. Michael Kelly in the corner down there. He tried to bring the boat back into some open water. He had a lane in there, but then the boat hooked on him. Now Kelly, top end of the race course, has taken the lead away from Jamie Nielsen. In fact, he's got about 3 boat lengths, Jeff. 2 leaders out front. Kelly, Nielsen off the corner.
We got official word from H1 Unlimited. The Legend Yacht Transport issued a 1-lap penalty for a gun jump. Your leader, the dominant red Beacon Plumbing with J. Michael Kelly, and Corey Peabody is dead in the water in turn number 1. He appears to be in the racing lane. We will watch the drone from H1 Unlimited. Peabody is out in lane number 3. The advantage, and now Kelly will have to go around his teammate. So Kelly sees his teammate, goes around him. You see there on our camera angle. The Legend Yacht Transport a one-lap penalty, but Brad, with that, Eccles running physically in third, just saw Peabody is actually in second, the Orange Craft.
Yeah, the Orange Craft is now, Bucket List Racing is running in second place. J. Michael Kelly went the long way around his teammate down there in the lower corner, but it's not going to cost him. He's got two and a half rooster tails over Jamie Nielsen, but remember, Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport has a one-lap penalty, so he's a lap down. Your second place boat, Dustin Eccles, and this is big for them, Jeff. They need these 300 points. This is really going to help Bucket List Racing and Dustin Eccles if he can bring it home.
The Dam family, heat number 3 in H1 Unlimited, dramatics in the race before the race and in the racing activity. That should have been the white flag, where we'll get clarification. No white flag given to the 8, but I believe that is your lead boat. One lap penalty on the Legend Yacht Transport for a gun jump. Now we get the white flag for the Bucket List Racing with Dustin Eccles. We'll call it physically like we know right now. Your red boat out in front, Beacon Electric. The Tennessee Orange in second, Bucket List Racing. Legend Yacht Transport in third. Peabody still dead in the water.
All J. Michael Kelly up the backstretch now. All he has to do is negotiate one half lap, go underneath the bridge, bring it back down under the bridge, and he will pick up a first place finish in our heat number 3, presented by the Dam family. We are on the final lap for our leaders. Our second place boat is just now coming off the bottom end of the race course. That is Dustin Eccles. But bring our leader down, although the white flag is flying.
We're watching the flags here at the German American Bank Judges Stand. White flag being delivered to the U8 Beacon Elect. Now the checkered flag comes out. Your winner of the Dam family, H1 Unlimited Heat 3, unofficially, is the Beacon Plumbing with J. Michael Kelly. White flag will be displayed to Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport for the gun jump. He'll go one more time around. Brad, let's watch the flags for Dustin Eccles. Now we're getting a white flag for the Bucket List Racing. Dustin Eccles obviously issued possible one-lap penalty for that incident prior to the start. That is unofficial.
It is precautionary. They're having our 2 lead boats take an extra lap. So they were the winners on the water, but now it is a precautionary extra lap because of some of that activity that was going on before the start. The boats got very close. The officials will review and we'll get it. J. Michael Kelly, the winner on the water, but they're having him run one more lap. He will come down, get a checkered flag a second time, as will Dustin Eccles. And this time we should get the first checkered flag for Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport.
So I write them down in pencil that I learned from my friend Scott Davidson when we worked basketball games at WRX. Your unofficial winner of the Dam family, heat number 3, is J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Brad, right now, it appears that Jamie Nielsen will get the checkered flag in the Legend Yacht Transport. The running order for several moments during that heat, I had the 8, 40, and 11 in that order, but there's a possibility after this heat, after review, some things could change. So right now, just write them down in pencil. I've got the 8 in front, the 40 in second, the 11 in third.
Yeah, I think you're right. And if we look down there to the lower end of the race course, I think we'll see Jamie Nielsen going very slowly. That's because, from my perspective, he was way out in front of all of the activity that was going on during the race before the race in the milling period. I don't think he was involved in it. Our other 2 boats were. There was a precautionary lap that was run. But I think you're right. We've got the U8, the Beacon Electric, in first place, at least on the water, pending any call that might be made. Second place to the U11 Legend Yacht Transport. Got a little hectic there.
There's your 5-minute period for the Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race, sponsored by Cheryl Lyon family and Millennium Tools. Brad Luce, take the field away from the pit dock here in Madison.
Well, very quickly, we have 2 of our boats away from the dock. Jamie Nielsen is away in the U11, the Legend Yacht Transport. He's the first one on the race course. That is Chartreuse, Royal Blue, and Red. Jamie Nielsen behind the wheel. Jamie from Gig Harbor, Washington. He is followed on the race course by the bright red U8, the Beacon Electric, J. Michael Kelly. Out of Bonnie Lake, Washington, he will come away. And now, away from the dock, the powder blue and white Miss Home Street. Great drone shot there as the boat went right underneath the drone. Dylan Runny out of Rumsford, New Jersey. 3 boats expected to come. With the fact that the 9 can't join us this time, Jeff, we got all 3 of them on the water at 4 minutes. 4 minutes to the start.
2 1/2 mile course, the Jim McCormick Heat. Goodness, the Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race, my apologies, will be a 3-lap heat. The final heat later this afternoon, the Morgan Foods Indiana Governor's Cup, will be a 5-lap race. This is the race before the race. Name of the game is to be at this Madison Ford start-finish line buoy at 0. You want to be a tick to the left-hand side of that buoy. If you jump the gun in H1 Unlimited hydroplane racing, that is a 1-lap penalty. Takes you away from the checkered flag in first place. And Brad, right now, each driver does not know what lane they will be in. This is what is being decided right now. You have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin at turn number 2, just east of the Milton-Madison Bridge prior to the start. Brad, you hold that lane to the start-finish line buoy into turn 1. Then after that, if you're ahead of a competitor, that's where the overlap comes into play.
And you better have 7 boat lengths. And the referee always makes a big deal about that. If you're going to legally move over on somebody, you better have 8 or 9. The rule says 7. Don't leave it to question. Make sure you've got plenty. Here comes Dylan Runny with a hard charge across the start-finish line here. This is, as you said, Jeff, the race before the race. In our first heat of the day for H1 Unlimited, this was as active a milling period as we have seen in a long time. So far, this one's been pretty tame.
Coming up on 2:30 until the start, but the Chartreuse Royal Blue and Red Legend Yacht Transport, Jamie Nielsen, has shown how to get lane number 1. He's done it in fine fashion his 2 times out here this weekend at Madison. So Nielsen underneath the Milton-Madison Bridge, entering turn number 2, followed by Kelly. Brad, we're approaching the 2-minute mark. I think too much time to kill for Runny to cut through right there.
Yeah, I was watching him come off the lower corner, and I was looking at the clock, too. You don't want to be at the start-finish line at 2 minutes, and we just ticked 2 minutes. I think he would have been too early. Now, Jamie Nielsen, on the other hand, coming underneath the bridge, sitting in lane number 1 right now. He's been living in lane 1 so far this weekend, and coming up now on 140 to the start. You gotta like the position of where Jamie Nielsen is from the standpoint of garnering lane 1. But when it comes to talking about speed coming across start-finish line, I like where that Dylan Runny guy's sitting. He's going to be able to get a good long run at this, Jeff. Looks like Kelly's going to sit in 2. Runny's going to bring the home street in 3. Could change. I don't think so. Jeff.
1:20 until the start. The Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race, sponsored by Cheryl Lyon Family and Millennium Tools, as we're approaching the 1-minute period, 1:10 until the start. Right now, by my eye, looks like Nielsen will remain in 1, Kelly in 2, Runny in 3. We just heard from Mike Morissette with H1 Unlimited. We're inside the 1-minute period. Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race, sponsored by Cheryl Lyon Family, Millennium Tools. It's heat number 4. Brad Luce set these lanes.
Well, you just did, and you were spot on. Jamie Nielsen once again puts the Legend Yacht Transport, the U11, in lane number 1. J. Michael Kelly's going to sit in 2. On the outside is going to be the U1, the Miss Home Street with Dylan Runny. They are underneath the bridge. We're checking the clock. We're inside 30 seconds. They'll start rounding the upper corner. They will come to the apex. I will turn it over to Jeff Ayler. We are at 20 seconds to the start. Jeff Ayler, bring him to the line.
Everybody a little bit early. Let's see how they feather the throttle to the bridge. You need to be there at 12 seconds. Now it's looking good. It's the Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race, sponsored by Cheryl Lyon Family and Millennium Tools. Could be the best start of the weekend. They approach the Madison Ford start-finish line. We're racing in heat number 4 of H1 Unlimited at the Madison Regatta. All 3 there at the line as they work into turn number 1. First to 3 times around, the start was good. It's a triple-decker in turn number 1. They'll fan out. Nielsen in front. Kelly is there.
Kelly is right on his right side, and he's right in the rear view mirror, but there's powder blue and white. Oh, Home Street. Look at the triple-decker, Jeff. They are side by side by side, stealing your line, but it was that good. On the outside, Dylan Runny's got some speed in that Miss Madison Home Street boat. He's got the lead up the backstretch. He's out by about a boat length and a half. Got Kelly right behind him with the lane position on the inside. Then it's back to Nielsen. Now there's the lane position for Kelly. Where is Dylan Runny? There he is, Jeff.
Miss Madison Racing has woke up with speed in the Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race. Runny driving a dandy on the outside will come down to complete lap number 1 of 3. Runny's best run so far in H1 Unlimited. Now Kelly powers back on the inside. Kelly, your official leader after lap number 1 by 2 boat lengths. Runny in second. Jamie Nielsen remains in third. Back into turn number 1. J. Michael Kelly gets there first. Runny has to run the wider arc in the second position. Beautiful turn by J. Mike, but right now, Brad, Runny seems to have top end at the end of each chute.
You made a comment there that they came down the front straightaway. You said the best we have seen Dylan Runny run so far in the 2023 season in the H1 Unlimited, and he's still running strong up the backstretch. Definitely his strongest run of season 2023, and he saved it for Heat 4 of the Madison Regatta. Top end of the race course, J. Michael Kelly hangs it on the hook. You see the big wall of water. He's got almost a rooster tail on Runny, but Runny's not going away, Jeff. He's staying in that right side rearview mirror.
J. Michael Kelly on top of his game in the dominant red Beacon Electric underneath the Milton Madison Bridge. Dylan Runny sent the message, still keeping it honest. White flag displayed, 2 complete, 1 to go. J. Michael Kelly accepts it in front. Dylan Runny in second, Miss Home Street. Jamie Nielsen remains in third in Legend Yacht Transport. Final time around for the top 2. Kelly in that rough turn number 1. Wow! He just about lost it. Oh, my. He recovered beautifully, but with that, here's Runny.
Yeah, J. Michael Kelly just about lost the boat coming out of the corner, and he lost a lot of speed. Runny's been able to close. He's back within half a rooster tail. Incredibly rough ride for J. Michael Kelly in the U8, but he was able to land it, and now he goes underneath the bridge for the last time. This is lap number 3. Jeff Ayler, our hearts just jumped into our throat. He's got it settled back down, but Runny is right with him, Jeff.
Final turn, final lap, Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race, sponsored by Cheryl Line Family and Millennium Tools. Here comes Runny. Runny making a charge on the outside. It's going to be a side-by-side battle. Runny takes the lead. Kelly counters back. Here is H1 Unlimited Heat number 4. It will go to J. Michael Kelly by 30 feet over Dylan Runny in the Miss Home Street. Beautiful run by the rookie out of Rumson, New Jersey. J. Michael Kelly, the veteran, had to drive the wheels off the Beacon Electric to get the win here in H1 Unlimited Heat number 4. Third place will go to Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport. The Jim McCormick Memorial Heat Race, sponsored by Cheryl Lyon Family and Millennium Tools. The best of the weekend, Madison, Indiana. How do you like that dueling?
Wow, that was something special, but oh my goodness. J. Michael Kelly in that lower corner, turn 1, lap 3. That boat was a long way out of the water. Then it came back down. He landed it, and then it reacted again. But he pulled it off. He lost a lot of ground, but then was able to keep his foot in it, accelerate, and hold off a hard-charging Dylan Runny.
5-minute period in session. You can hear the light of the Lycoming turbine engine field making their way out of the pit area for Rivertown Bar and Grill, Heat number 5 at the Bob Hughes Memorial, 73rd Madison Regatta, presented by U.S. Premier Tube Mills. And Brad, to our right, sun is behind the cloud cover. 3 boats leaving the dock. Fill us in on who left first, second, and third out of the pit dock.
Well, checking down there, it looks like Jamie Nielsen was the first one away from the dock in the U11. That is the Legend Yacht Transport. It is chartreuse, royal blue, and red. It is the first boat off the corner. Behind him, behind Jamie, is Dustin Eccles in the bright orange Bucket List Racing. That is the U40. And our last boat away from the dock, they didn't seem to have any trouble with it. I think it was by design. They held at the dock for a little bit longer than the other two, let them clear. And then Dylan Runny came out on the race course in the U1, the Miss Home Street. They're up the backstretch in that order, although it appears as though Dustin Eccles is going to pull up and go alongside and pass Jamie Nielsen. And just as I said that, Nielsen decided to cut the race course back to front. A legal maneuver, Jeff.
3-lap heat, 2 1/2 mile course. This is the race before the race. Each driver does not know which lane they will start. You have to have your lane established prior to the entrance pin at turn number 2, east of the Milton-Madison Bridge, where Dylan Runny just passed. And right now, Brad, this is where it gets a little bit sketchy, a little itchy. We've seen some shenanigans so far earlier today in Madison in heat number 3 in the warm-up period. I think right now, with this being the final preliminary heat of the afternoon, I think all 3 drivers will be super well behaved.
Yeah, I would think so. I was just going to say, I think job 1 in this heat is bring your boat back in one piece, because next up on deck is the Indiana Governor's Cup. That's the big prize of the weekend. If you got a shot to run out front and pick up 400 points, make it happen. But if you're a little bit late at the start, or maybe you don't like your position, I think you just settle back in, pick up your points, put it on the trailer, and come up with a good plan for the final.
Coming up on 2 minutes and 30 seconds until the start, it's H1 Unlimited Heat 5, brought to you by Rivertown Bar and Grill, located in Jefferson Street here in downtown Madison. Joe Breek, the owner, spoke to Joe earlier. He's having fun at the Madison Regatta.
Everybody's having fun at the Madison Regatta. That includes you and myself. As we approach the 2-minute mark, we're at 5 seconds before 2 minutes. Boats up at the top end of the race course. I'm not sure anybody has solved the puzzle of getting the inside lane from Jamie Nielsen. Now, things can change, but you could almost set your watch by this. We get inside 2 minutes, look up the river, and Jamie Nielsen will come rolling by. And here he comes again. Right now, Jamie Nielsen sitting in lane number 1 as we approach 1:40. He will go across start-finish line at this moment right now. Following behind him, here comes Dustin Eccles. Watch Dylan Runny, see if he doesn't make a hard charge on the outside. That looks like that's where he's going to start, is lane number 3, or at least the 3rd boat from the inside boat. Right now, that's the way it looks down to the lower end of the race course. Nielsen in 1, Eccles in 2, Runny on the outside, Jeff.
Rivertown Bar and Grill, H1 Unlimited, heat number 5.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, mark.
You heard the call. We are inside 1 minute to the start of H1 Unlimited. Heat number 5, presented by Rivertown Bar and Grill. Up the backstretch, lane number 1 is going to go to Jamie Nielsen in the Legend Yacht Transport. He is the lead boat going up there. Then you see the bright orange boat. He is sitting in lane number 2. He is Dustin Eccles. That is Bucket List Racing. On the outside is the powder blue and white, the Miss Home Street, the U1, and Dylan Runny. Check of the clock. We just hit 30 seconds. I like where they're sitting right now. Jeff Ayler, you're the one with the timing marks. It'll be a good charge to the line. Start our final preliminary heat, presented by Rivertown Bar and Grill.
By my marks, just a little bit early, but I think they'll be good as they feather that throttle. We are at 12 seconds. They're at the bridge. Now it should be a good start. Heat 5 brought to you by Rivertown Bar and Grill. 3 boats will answer the call. We are racing in heat number 5, Rivertown Bar and Grill, here in H1 Unlimited. We'll call it physically into turn number 1. Getting there first in lane number 1 is Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport. He swung out, hit a roller off the turn. Nielsen, Eccles takes the lead in Bucket List Racing.
Eccles goes by him at the exit pin, and just look at the acceleration from Dustin Eccles. Our start, we believe, is under review, but it is Eccles in the lead, and he's opened up water on Jamie Nielsen, but you can see Dylan Runny on the outside in the home street. Dustin Eccles came out of that corner like he was shot out of a cannon, and the bright orange Bucket List Racing is hot. Apex of the corner, Jeff, bring him down to put 1 in the book. Our start is under review.
Thank you, Brad. And Dylan Runny has got some mustard underneath the engine bonnet of the Miss Home Street. Dustin Eccles, your leader. Bucket List Racing, here comes the sentimental favorite on the outside, running on home waters. One complete and 2 to go, and Bucket List Racing flying into turn number 1. Dylan Runny remains in second and Miss Home Street. Jamie Nielsen third, Legend Yacht Transport. Eccles driving a good arc in turn number 1. Runny is right on his outside hip off the turn. It's Eccles, but Runny back only 7 boat lengths.
Yeah, Runny is not going away. He's staying in that right side rear view mirror despite being on the outside of Dustin Eccles. This has turned into a 2-boat race, and it's turned into a doozy. 3/4 of the way up the backstretch, still Dustin Eccles running the Bucket List Racing U40 on the inside, but Dylan Runny not going away. Remember, our start is under review. We will keep an eye on and an ear in the official radio, but Jeff, either way, this is a good one. There's Runny.
It's getting more, better, and better. The hometown faithful can sense it. Here comes your defending National High Point champion, trying to chase down Dustin Eccles and Bucket List Racing. We will get the white flag. 2 complete. 1 more to go. Eccles' lead is down to 3 boat lengths. Runny has a hard charge on the outside. And now Eccles is slowing and Runny is taking the lead. Eccles had a momentary boat failure. Runny in front, and now Eccles is slowing, going dead in the water. Runny comfortably now out in front.
Dylan Runny is out front. I think maybe what happened going down at the end of the straightaway, we got the note that Bucket List Racing had jumped the start. And so if we got it, we know that also Dustin Eccles got it. He may have pulled his foot, but he definitely got in the rooster tail. But the story is at the top end of the race course. Dylan Runny is about to get his first H1 Unlimited victory in a heat. What a place to have it happen here on the Ohio River in front of hometown fans. Jeff Ayler, bring him home.
It's Heat 5, H1 Unlimited. Sponsor Rivertown Bar and Grill, and yes, the checkered flag is waving. Here is your winner out of Rumson, New Jersey, Dylan Runny, driving for the citizens of Madison, Indiana, and Miss Home Street. Jamie Nielsen up in turn number 2 in the Legend Yacht Transport. We want to score Jamie in the second place position. Checkered flag waving. And Nielsen's good run on the weekend. They keep building that point total. They will come across and get second place. And 300 points for the Legend Yacht Transport. Brad, let's watch the flags here for the Bucket List Racing with Dustin Eck.
Wells Fargo Active Cash Credit Card. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on purchases you want.
Went down. We saw some smoke out the transom from that Lycoming turbine, but he did refire. And from our vantage point right now, the boat appears to be riding well, but obviously not up at full speed.
No, he's not up to full speed. And these things, when they do lose power, the other thing that goes out the door with it basically is your ability to steer. And I think he got into definitely the rooster tail of Dylan Runny. Certainly nothing that Runny did. It just happened. But you're right. When he got down to the entrance pin of the corner, the power went away. But I'm still going to say you got to keep an eye on that orange boat because, man, he was running. It's the 2023 Indiana Governor's Cup for H1 Unlimited, presented by Morgan. We get to a boat race. It is time for Heat 1A, this time sponsored by American Dumpster. Jeff, you cannot win the Southern Cup in the first heat of the weekend, but you can certainly lose it. Be careful, finish, and score points.
This is the building block. This is the heat. You want to score. You want to score well. You don't want to come out of this heat with the goose egg, which is the 0. This is your building block to get points in the first section, second section, third section, to be on the front row of the Southern Cup Championship tomorrow at 5:30 Central Daylight Time here in Guntersville.
3:25 until the start. 3:25. Dustin Eccles cutting across the race course from the back stretch to the front stretch on the GP course. That is a legal maneuver. Jeff, let's talk a little bit about our start procedure here. It's been basically the same as it's been for our previous 2 classes. It's a clock start. Put your boat on the start-finish line when the clock strikes 0. Do not jump that start. You will be penalized and you will not win. But there's an added factor to this whole thing. You cannot drop your boat below 80 miles per hour. So when we get a winner in this heat, the boats have to go through tech inspection, and that's where they pick up that 80 mile an hour violation should it happen. So you can't just go up to the top end of the race course and park your boat at 10 miles an hour. You must stay above 80 miles per hour. The drivers have indication in the cockpit. They also have the radio guys in their ears explaining this to them. 2 minutes and 28 seconds to the start. This is what we call the milling period. Got a couple boats at the top end of the race course, one on the backstretch, and Dylan Runny at the bottom end.
Runny at the bottom end, as Brad mentioned, the Turbinator with Jimmy King just past the halfway mark on the back chute. 2 boats up in turn number 2, the Tennessee Orange Bucket List Racing of Dustin Eccles and the Dominant Red Beacon Electric with J. Michael Kelly. We are coming up on 2 minutes. 2 minutes until American Dumpster H1 Unlimited Heat 1A. Brad Luce, the season is about to begin for H1. I like the lineup. Let's get this party started.
Let's get it started. Remember, Dylan Runny, the third boat coming down the front straightaway here, he has to start behind the field and on the outside. You see him moving to the outside. Jeff, these guys are awfully early to get down to the bottom end of the race course here at $1:30, which we are at now. So it's 1:30. This is where the 80 miles per hour comes into play. If you're down there too early and have to slow down, you run the risk of breaking that 80 mile per hour barrier, and that can cost you dearly. But they'll come up the backstretch. It is Dustin Eccles leading the field up there. Got 3 boats behind him. Jeff, bring them up to the top end of the course.
Coming up on the 1 minute period for American Dumpster Unlimited 1A. 3, 2, 1, mark. 1 minute period in session. H1 Unlimited Heat 1A. Our heat sponsor, American Dumpster, leading the field up. Looks like you'll get lane number 1, Dustin Eccles and Bucket List Racing. J. Michael Kelly coming into the 2 lane in the Beacon Electric. Jimmy King in the Turbinator. Griggs Ace Hardware in 3. Dylan Runny to the outside in 4. In Miss Home Street, we are approaching 30 seconds. Brad Luce, let's start this Southern Cup. Bring him to the green flag.
Thank you very much, Jeff. It looks like J. Michael Kelly's going to claim lane number 1. I think Dustin Eccles is going to go in 2. I think the Terminator's going to go in 3. And then on the far outside and behind, as he is supposed to, is going to be Dylan Runny. But as we saw, the boats were down there too early. And Dustin Eccles is crawling up to the start-finish line here in the 40. We're inside 10 seconds until our start. We are on 5 seconds. We are 4, 3, 2, 1, mark, and we are racing in Heat 1A, presented by American Dumpster. I think we've got the 40 Bucket List Racing definitely across the start finish early, but until we get it legal, we will call them as they are on the water. Eccles is going to get out of the corner first. Check that. It is J. Michael Kelly on the inside. He's got a lot of boats with him. He's got the Turbinator. You can hear him on the outside. There is Eccles. He pulls up alongside J. Michael Kelly and now moves out by about a boat length, maybe a boat length and a half. He may have jumped, but man, he's moving.
Start is under review. Eccles in front. He could be the culprit. Eccles in front. Kelly is there. The Turbinator in third into turn number 2. Exciting dueling to begin the day, but is Eccles legal?
We'll call them as they are on the water until we hear it officially. Kelly with the inside lane position. Look at him right on the buoy row. Now it's Eccles on the outside. Whether he jumped or not, two of the fastest race boats in the world are tied together as they come across our finish line. Jeff, I think you've got an update.
We got a one-lap penalty on your physical leader, Dustin Eccles, in the Bucket List Racing, the Tennessee Orange, down a lap for a gun jump. So your leader is the dominant red boat in turn number 1, J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. That moves the Turbinator, the turbocharged Allison up to second. Griggs Ace Hardware, Miss Homestreet in third. Eccles physically in front, but in fourth.
Yeah, he's in fourth place, so your leader is J. Michael Kelly, the red boat up the backstretch. That is the Beacon Electric. And if we have that information, so does J. Michael Kelly. That's why you see him letting the orange boat go. Let him go. That's not who he's racing against. However, in his right side rearview mirror, as Jeff calls him, the Turbinator, the U3, the Griggs Ace Hardware, he is trying to make a move. Coming up on the outside of J. Michael Kelly. Dustin Eccles will come down. He will be our leader on the water, but he is actually running it forward. But Jimmy King is making a move, Jeff.
Brad, with Eccles getting that one-lap penalty, he has come toward the inside, and Kelly's had to go outside his wake. Your official leader. Here comes the turbocharged Allison, charging on the outside. This one is not over. American Dumpster, Unlimited 1A. It's the two dominant red boats. Kelly, your leader. Brad, the Turbinator, is right there.
Yeah, he's right there. The race is for second place, except that is a race for first place. The two red boats. Kelly on the inside, King on the outside. You can't see King driving a 3 in the Griggs Ace Hardware, but he's right with them. This one is going to be close. It's going to be a charge to the finish line. Kelly with the lane position, but it is Jimmy King on the outside with an awful lot of boat speed. He's going to pack as much as he can into this corner. Now you see Dustin Eccles go way wide and give our leaders room to come down and race this out. There is Kelly. There is King. I think J. Michael Kelly will be able to hold him off. Dustin Eccles comes across, but on his inside, our winner of Heat 1A on the water, J. Michael Kelly, driving the Beacon Electric. Second place to Jimmy King in the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware. Holy smoke. Our third place boat will be the rookie, Dylan Runny, driving the Miss Homestreet. And I can only think, Jeff Ayler, Dustin Eccles is just kicking himself in that cockpit. We said, don't make a mistake. Get your points in that first heat. He made a mistake.
We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it this morning. The first heat of the weekend, that's your building block, your top qualifier, the first error of racing activity this weekend. Dustin Eccles running that extra lap, and he does have to finish to get those 169 points. Great run by J. Michael Kelly, but Brad, the Turbinator, Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware, the World War II Allison aircraft engine, looked great with that turbocharger running in second.
That's fun. Gas him up. Let's do it again. That was an awful lot of fun. Here comes Dustin Eccles. He's disappointed, but he comes across still very important. He comes across, he finishes, he will pick up his 169 points. They all build, as you said, with the building blocks toward making it into the final. The two boats who make out like a bandit because of Dustin Eccles' air, the U3, the Griggs Presents Miss Ace Hardware with Jimmy King. They pick up second place points. That's 300. And how about Dylan Runny? Has to start behind the field, so he's handicapped to begin with, but because of the matters out front, he picks up a third place and 225 points. We are inside 5 minutes now. We've got three boats set to answer the call here, and we've got 1, 2, 3 Rooster Tails headed our way. The fans might be thinking, Jeff, wait a minute, there's 8 boats in the pit area. We ran 4 in the first one. Where's our 4th boat in this one? Brent Hall in the 440 has not yet qualified as a driver, so he is not eligible yet to come out and run with these guys. But we've got 3 on the water. It's going to be the U11, the Legend Yacht Transport. Legend Yacht Transport driven by Jamie Nielsen. He will come across the start-finish line boat running very, very good this weekend. He's going to be joined on the race course by the U9 Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody. Here comes Corey. That white boat, Corey Peabody, he's going to be quick in this one. But don't ever count out Andrew Tate. Jeff, before you make a comment, want to just remind our fans, please stay out of the water when our H1 hydroplanes and all hydroplanes are on the water and racing. So we need you out of the water right now. Parents, help us out just a little bit there if your kids are in there enjoying some cool water. Jeff, 3 minutes and 50 seconds to the start. We got a 3-boat heat, but it should be a good one.
I'm sure these drivers watched the warm-up period back in American Dumpster Unlimited Heat 1A. Dustin Eccles, our top qualifier, was a gun jumper, received a 1-lap penalty, 4th place finish. Brad, these 3 drivers right now with the 3-boat heat, you definitely don't want to jump the gun, but you want to maintain your boat, run a clean race, score where you can, but the main thing is to stay clean, don't get in trouble.
Yeah, and here's some of that start procedure right now. You're watching Jamie Nielsen come down the front straightaway very, very slowly here, and we saw some of the drivers have an issue with the 80-mile-an-hour rule and being a little bit too early on their start procedure in our Heat 1A earlier today, and it cost, unfortunately, our U40 Bucket List Racing and Dustin Eccles. It cost him a potential first-place finish in his heat, but right now it is Heat 1B presented by American Dumpster. We're 2 minutes and 50 seconds away from the start. Jamie Nielsen right now is sitting on an inside lane. Where is Andrew? Oh, Andrew's halfway up the backstretch. He's been going very slowly ever since he came out. All a part of his start procedure, Jeff.
I think Andrew Tate right now, probably Brad, could be a little bit off. We'll see if he cuts through that infield there. That is a legal maneuver at that part of the race course. But no, he will go on up to turn number 2. Now, Nielsen and Peabody are both keen on one another as we now are 2 minutes and 15 seconds until the start. Brad, the past 2 seasons, Jamie Nielsen in the Royal Blue Chartreuse boat has a knack at getting lane number 1. Can he do it here in American Dumpster 1B?
Well, right now where Andrew Tate sets, you know I have this unofficial timing mark that, you don't really want to be at the start-finish line in 2 minutes. Well, it's 1:55 right now, and Andrew is right here at the line. He's actually not there yet, and he's going to get there about 1:48. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. You mentioned Jamie Nielsen and Corey Peabody were playing kind of a game up the backstretch. Well, Corey said he'd had enough of that game. He gave it a little squirt. He moved away from Jamie Nielsen. 1:30 until the start, Jeff Ayler.
With that maneuver, now Nielsen is toward the back of the pack, and all 3 H1 Unlimited hydroplanes will have to go through turn number 1, get their lane assigned on the back straightaway. In the race before the race, we now are 1 minute and 15 seconds until the start. Tate is the first one off the corner. Will he have the best shot at lane number 1? Peabody's tracking him. Brad still lots to decide. We're coming up on 1 minute. 3, 2, 1, mark. 1 minute period has begun for American Dumpster Unlimited 1B.
And right now it is Andrew Tate in the 91, the Goodman Real Estate. He is sitting on lane number 1. It is Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing, the white U9. That's the second boat going up the backstretch. He is in lane number 2. Jamie Nielsen will be on the outside in the Legend Yacht Transport. Inside 40 seconds to the start. Jeff Ayler, set the lanes. Get him through that upper corner for me, please.
Coming up on the 30-second mark, Andrew Tate will be in lane number 1. Goodman Real Estate, gold and white craft. White boat with the blue ruddering. Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody, and back of the pack is Nielsen. Now is Nielsen sneaking into 1? Brad, bring him into the line for American Dumpster 1B.
Yeah, let's keep an eye on Nielsen. No, he's going to go to the outside, but he may be the one boat with a lot of boat speed. The others are up there a little bit early. Nielsen was behind the field, but he's got a lot of boat speed on the outside. Inside 5 seconds, we're 4, 3, 2, 1. Mark, and boy, I like that start. It looked good from here, but Jamie Nielsen nailed it in the U11 Legend Yacht Transport, but all 3 of them were tied together as they go down in the lower corner. On the inside is Andrew Tate with the lead, the U91 Goodman Real Estate, but it looks like one boat down there, but it is 3, and there's Corey. Corey on the outside by a boat length. Tate and Corey Peabody, Jeff, they are really duking it out.
The start was good. Now Peabody extends his lead by a boat length and a half, but Tate has the advantage to the inside. Shorter way around. Peabody gets there first. Here comes Tate, and they are now side by side at the apex of turn 2.
Coming off the top end of the race course. Remember, fans, we go 3 times around. Watch the corner for Andrew Tate, right on the buoy roll of beauty. But Corey gave him enough room and was able to keep the speed up. This boat's been fast yesterday and today. That boat being the U9. Beacon Plumbing with Corey Peabody, your defending Lake Guntersville champion. Running like a rocket. Got a lot of speed off to his left. And a lot of good driving skill in there too with Andrew Tate. Andrew's not going to give up on this yet. Look at that. Lane position pulled him up to about 3 boat lengths. This is a good one. We are just about halfway through this heat. Corey Peabody's opened up about a 4 boat lengths lead, but I'll tell you what, in that left side rear view mirror, Jeff Ayler, Andrew Tate does not want to go away.
Right now, Peabody extending the lead in American Dumpster Unlimited 1B here at the Guntersville Lake Hydrofest, making a 10 boat length advantage. Peabody in front, leaving Tate a lane in there in lane number 1. Nielsen remains in third in Legend Yacht Transport, but Brad Tate's got it down now to 8 boat lengths. Corey tightened it up on the pins on the outside.
Yes, Corey really did tighten it up there. He's going to make it as difficult as he can legally on Andrew Tate. And now they come down to pick up the white flag with 1 to go here in our Heat 1B presented by American Dumpster. It is Corey Peabody and Andrew Tate slamming into the lower end of the race course. Tate gobbles it back up again, back by about 6, maybe 7 boat lengths. This is the checkered flag lap. Off the exit pit of the corner, Corey Peabody running a beautiful race in that Beacon Plumbing. He's opened up almost a full rooster tail, but Tate's still knocking on the door, Jeff.
The key for Peabody right now. Comfortable lead. Don't make a mistake in turn number 2. Run his craft clean away from the pins. We go above in turn number 2 with our drone. Peabody driving clean. Tate running out of time. Brad, bring him to the checkered flag and American Dumpster 1B.
It is on the outside. Corey Peabody driving the U9 to Beacon Plumbing for Daryl and Vanessa Strong. Checkered flag flies. Corey Peabody picking up a heat victory. In our Heat 1B presented by American Dumpster, it is Andrew Tate coming home in second place driving the Goodman Real Estate, and a very strong and good run for the U11 Legend Yacht Transport. Jeff Ayler, the last time we saw Corey Peabody in that U9, it was in the final heat in Madison, Indiana. That's the first heat they've run since. He's out front with 400 points. Assuming they get through tech inspection.
The whole team will be absolutely tickled with that heat win here at the Guntersville Lake Hydrofest and American Dumpster Unlimited 1B. The 5-minute period is come and gone. Let's get this started.
Let's get this party started. It is day 3 of 3. The green flag is on the race course. Our 4 boats are at the top end. J. Michael Kelly comes into our Heat 2A presented by the Guntersville Waterboard with 450 points. The boat is extremely quick. What we've noticed about J. Michael Kelly's bright red boat is how smooth it is on the water. He's followed by teammate Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. Beacon Electric is the red one. Beacon Plumbing is the white one. And here's your top qualifier. Bucket List Racing with Dustin Eccles had that 171 mile per hour lap. All 3 of those guys went around the race course smartly, and as he loves to do, he likes to do things a little differently. Andrew Tate just tooling around the top end of the race course. Tate's got a place he wants to be on this race course at a certain time, and he'll find a way to get there.
Boy, right now, Brad, at that 4-minute mark, I think he'll have to come down to turn number 1 and obviously go down the back straightaway. Will he elect to cut in where J. Michael Kelly is, or will he go back to turn 2?
Well, we'll see. He's got to go all the way down now. And Kelly and Peabody both cut the race course. That's a legal maneuver. Now, to our new race fans here, Jeff Ayler, if you haven't seen this before, everything is done on a clock start. We are at the start-finish line. We're 3 minutes and 30 seconds until the start. The idea is to put your boat on the starting line at full song, the tick before the clock strikes 0. If you jump the start and are across the line before the clock strikes 0, you run an extra lap. You're not going to win. We go 3 laps in these preliminary heats. We got a 5-lap final coming up later on in the day. But right now, with 3:10, they're in what we call the milling period, Jeff.
Brad, I spoke to an H1 Unlimited pilot this morning. I won't name who it was because I don't want to give away their secrets, but I'll give it away anyway. 22-second mark, the entrance pin of turn number 2 on the back chute. They're looking at about that 10-second mark off the exit pin of turn number 2, the start-finish line. If you jump the gun in H1 Unlimited hydroplane racing, that is a 1-lap penalty. That takes you away from the checkered flag and those precious points up toward the top.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting now because as the boats come out of the pit area, their lane is not assigned to them. They fight for lanes, and at 2:30 before the start, they're going to have to go all the way up to the top end, which means they're going to go all the way around the race course. Andrew Tate has parked himself right now in lane 1. Could that change? Yes, it could. Honestly, Jeff, I'm not sure it's going to. I think they've got to go all the way around, and Tate's just going to hang in lane 1 if he wants it. Right now, Kelly's in 2, Peabody's in 3. That's going to put our top qualifier on the far outside. And remember, Dustin Eccles needs some points. He jumped his start in the first heat, and although he was the first boat across the finish line, he was relegated to 4th place with the 1-lap penalty. So here comes Tate down across start-finish line inside of 2 minutes. Tate's in 1, Kelly's in 2, Peabody in 3, Eccles is going to come down behind everybody.
Right now, Brad, by the alignment, I like where Eccles is, but the problem where he is, he's on the outside.
Yeah, I'm a little worried about Andrew. You know my unofficial timing marks. I always say, you don't want to be down there at that entrance pin in the lower corner at 1:30. It's 1:30 right now.
Yeah, I think Andrew Tate, no doubt early. It looks like he will cruise around the course. You have to be above 80 miles per hour in the warm-up period prior to the start. So Andrew Tate in turn number 1, leisurely working the buoy row in the Goodman Real Estate. He is followed by J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Plumbing. Then Corey Peabody back behind Kelly in the Beacon Plumbing. Now here comes Dustin Eccles up on the outside in the Tennessee Orange Bucket List Racing. We are now coming up on 55 seconds until the start. Brad, by my view, I think Tate's early. Eccles could be the best of all, but he is on the outside.
He is on the outside. He's just on the outside of Corey Peabody. 45 seconds until the start. The white flag is up. We're going to go 3 times around. There's 400 points laying on the table. You need to earn points, 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 as we like to say in these preliminary heats, to find your way into the final. Tate's going to take him up to the top end of the race course with 30 seconds until the start. Followed in lane number 2 by J. Michael Kelly in the Beacon Electric. Then it is his teammate Corey Peabody. He's in lane 3. Eccles is going to be on the outside. You see Dustin starting to wind it up on the outside. You said 12 seconds off the exit pin. Let's take a look. We are 12 seconds right now. It's going to be getting pretty close to time to put the foot down. You see Tate can't get into it yet. The others can, but now Andrew does. We are 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 mark. Boy, from my view, it looks like it's a legal start, but we'll get it from the officials. Andrew Tate on the inside was the first boat across the line. He broke the clock and will get down to turn number 1 first, and he's got the lead as he goes through the lower corner. Andrew Tate, but boy, has he got company. He's got Kelly, he's got Peabody, and he's got Eccles, but off the corner it is Andrew Tate. And then look on the outside. It is a legal start. It's a legal start, Jeff. Look at Corey Peabody on the outside in 2.
Tate made a dynamite start in lane number 1, leads it in turn number 2. Corey Peabody is hauling the mail in 2nd in Beacon Plumbing. Back in 3rd, we got side-by-side action between Kelly and Eccles, but off the corner it'll be Tate in front, but Peabody charging hard in 2nd.
Tight off the buoy row is Andrew Tate. He'll come down and put 1 in the books, but his right side rear view mirror is full of Corey Peabody. Peabody's closed the distance. He's back by about 3 boat lengths as they finish lap number 1 and go down to the lower end of the race course. It's lap number 2 of 3. Tate on the inside with the lead, but he's got Corey right with him. Peabody back about 3 boat lengths. They're going to come off the corner very close, Jeff. Peabody's making a charge.
Excellent dueling here in Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited. Heat 2A, we see Tate, Peabody hidden in the rooster tail on the back straightaway. Your race is for first in 2A. Tate maintains that lead. They enter turn number 2. Peabody is there. Tate is there. Now they are side by side in turn number 2 at the apex.
You know I love to say this, Jeff, but this is as good as it gets in H1 Unlimited Racing. You've hooked up 2 boats side by side. There's Tate. There's Peabody. They're going to come down and pick up a white flag with 1 to go, and they're virtually going to be dead even. Corey Peabody and Andrew Tate. Tate by a boat length at the end of 2. 3rd place is going to go to Dustin Eccles. In the Bucket List Racing, J. Michael Kelly trails in 4th. Down to the lower end of the race course. This is the final lap. You've got to get the checkered flag this time for those 400 points. Looks like 1 boat coming off the corner. There are 2 of them right there looking for Corey, and there he is. Sticks sticks his nose out about a boat lake, Jeff.
Beautiful dueling here in Guntersville. Waterboard Unlimited 2A. Peabody in front by a boat length. Tate flies to Goodman Real Estate. The battle is up in the front. Tate has the advantage on the inside, shorter way around. They are side by side again at the apex. Final turn, final lap of 2A.
Here, 400 points laying right here at the finish line. Has Peabody got enough? Has Tate got acceleration? They're going to come down to pick up the checkers, and it's going to be Corey Peabody in the Beacon Plumbing. He will come home first. Andrew Tate, Goodman Real Estate, will come home in second place. Bucket List Racing with Dustin Eccles in third, and J. Michael Kelly will come home in fourth place. Now that's a good way to start the day, Mr. Ayler.
Brad Luce, great dueling here in Guntersville. Waterboard one. Runny will be to the outside and back. How far will he be back? How good a start will King or Nielsen make in lanes 1 or 2? Their objective, get to the line, don't jump the gun. You're either going to get 400 or 300. If they get 225, they'll take it. But right now, Nielsen and King in a good spot to get either 400 or 300 points here in Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 2B. But could Runny come from the back and spoil on the outside? He does have the equipment to do it.
He definitely has the equipment to do it. One of the big questions is going to be, does he have enough time? He's only got 3 laps to do it. That's a pretty short period of time. It's a sprint. Come final heat time, there'll be 5 laps, but we're 3 in the prelims and across the start-finish line at 2:45. Dylan Runny, driving our defending national high points champion who won the Miss Home Street, owned by Miss Madison Incorporated in Madison, Indiana. 2:35 to the start, Jeff.
And Brad, different sequences here for all 3 drivers. King off turn number 2, Nielsen past the halfway mark up the back chute, Runny in turn number 1, so lots of separation here in the warm-up period. We're 2 minutes and 20 seconds until the start, and Brad, in about 1 minute, we expect these 3 to bunch up. Who will get lane 1? Who will get lane 2? We know Runny will be back on the outside. The factor in this one in the equation is King or Nielsen, who will be in lane 1.
Boy, under different circumstances, if Runny was not a rookie, we might see him cut the race course right here, but he's not going to, I don't think. He may just from it. Now he's going to go all the way up. But Nielsen, I think you've got to like where Jamie Nielsen is sitting right now at 145. He is coming down the front straightaway. Again, the other piece to that start procedure that gets picked up in tech inspection is the 80 mile per hour rule. They have to maintain a minimum speed of 80 miles per hour. So at 130, I like a lot where Jamie Nielsen sits right now. I think he can park that thing in lane 1. Here comes King. He's going to come rolling down, and he's probably going to slot himself into lane number 2. And as you said, the rookie, Runny, got to be on the outside. 115, Jeff.
Nielsen in turn number 1. King is powering up into the entrance pin in turn number 1. We mentioned Runny will be back into the outside. We are 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 mark. 1 minute period has begun for Guntersville Waterboard H1 Unlimited 2B. Nielsen up there in front on the back chute in the warm-up period, followed by King and Dylan Runny. Brad Luce, 45 seconds until the start. I think it'll be Nielsen in 1, King in 2, Runny and back on the outside. Bring him to the green flag.
That's what it's going to be, and it looks like Jamie Nielsen is way out front. He is. Is he early? Maybe a little bit, but I don't think so. I think he's in pretty good shape. But watch the red boat and watch the blue boat behind. I think they're both going to bring a lot of speed, but remember, the blue one's got to start behind it. Here comes King. You can hear the piston power start to roll.
The driver I mentioned this morning, unnamed, it was King. He was there at 22. He might be right on it.
This could be good. Jeff said he's got some inside scoop on Jimmy King and the piston boat. He's going to bring a lot of speed on the outside. We're inside 10, we're inside 5, we're 3, 2, 1, mark. And it certainly appears to be a clean start. It is legal. and the boats were actually late behind the line, but there was a lot of speed in the piston boat, Jimmy King, but he's a couple of ticks behind Jamie Nielsen. Nielsen's got to get down to the lower corner first. Look on the outside. There's a lot of red out there and a lot of rumbling going on with the piston boat. This is going to be good, Jeff, but off the corner, it is Jamie Nielsen, Legend Yacht Transport, by about 4 boat lengths.
Nielsen, your leader, has the advantage with lane number 1, but I think the horsepower advantage belongs to the Turbinator. Nielsen's lead is down to 5 boat lengths. They enter turn number 2, and King has got it down to 2 boat lengths. Nielsen, your leader. King has cut it down to 3 boat lengths at the apex of turn 2.
Top end of the race course, we'll wait to see Jimmy King. Where is he? There he is. He pokes his nose out. He's staying right on the hip of Nielsen, and he kept the RPM up. Got to come down and put one in the book. Side by side racing here. One in the books, and it's Nielsen by half a boat length. Literally half a boat length at the completion of lap number 1. Ronnie comes across in third. Was King able to gobble him up? He was, but now he's going to give it back because of the lane position. Looks like 1 boat down there. There are 2. Jamie Nielsen approaches the exit pit, and there's King on the outside. I think you said it right, Jeff. King's got that horsepower, and he's got it wound up.
Super sweet action at Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 2B. King showing the horsepower of the turbocharged Allison, but he is on the outside of Nielsen. Nielsen maintains that advantage. Closer to the buoys, the Turbinator in front, making 3 boat lengths. Nielsen cantering back as they work through turn number 2. Nielsen tighten it up. King's lead down to a boat length.
Coming off the top end of the race course, they're going to come down and pick up the white flag. It means 1 more to go. Jimmy King driving the great Ace Hardware and driving the daylights out of the piston boat. The fans are eating it up, Jeff. Down to the lower end of the race course, King's got about 4 boat lengths, and Dylan Runny comes across in third. Now it's a checkered flag lap. Who we got down there? King by about 2 boat lengths, maybe 3, opening it up just a little bit. He's got that horsepower wound up. He's got to have the acceleration off the corner, and so far he's been able to show Jamie Nielsen the tail end of that red boat. He's got it wound up, Jeff.
And now King extends the lead, making 7 boat lengths. Final lap at Guntersville Waterboard Unlimited 2B. The Turbinator looking for 400 big points in this heat. And now Nielsen dropping back. King's lead getting bigger. Final turn, final lap. Can the Turbinator hang on?
Drives him definitely clean off the top end, giving Nielsen plenty of room. Jimmy King, Greg's Ace Hardware, Charlie Gregg, you're going to pick up 400 big points there. Piston Power claims Heat 2B, presented by the Guntersville Waterboard. The fans like that one. Here comes the home street, and Dylan Runny, he will come home in third. Jeff Anner, we wondered who would get lane 1. Jamie Nielsen did an outstanding job of picking up that inside lane, but at the end of the day, he just couldn't hold off that Turbinator. Once he got that thing wound up and the RPMs up high, he could stay wide. It's this big, wide race course. He could keep it up. He didn't have to worry about it. as yet. No, that's Perkins.
Yep, Perkins.
Yep, Perkins is the first one down here. Got a couple of
Perkins, Phipps, Tate, J. Michael Kelly, Eccles on the outside.
And there's that metallic paint job on the Oberto as he goes. When the sun catches it, it's just gorgeous as he comes through the lower grand. Look at Tate. Tate's going to cut the course, jump over to the other side.
Oh, so's J. Michael Kelly.
Yeah. Kelly's going up above him, too. So who's going to... I said we didn't expect a lot of monkey work, but here we go. And Kelly's jumping over the other side. But we still have a long way to go at 2:30. 2:30, Michael.
Tate was trying to cut the course, but he couldn't get in front of Brian Perkins, and so he ended up coming right into Perkins' wash. As J. Michael Kelly cut that short course a little bit shorter than the others. By the way, just a good reminder, too.
Well, watch J. Michael Kelly's speed at the top end of the course.
Down. And watch that beacon.
Yeah.
If he's crawling, he's down.
As Tate, yeah, he is.
Yeah.
You're right. He's trying to, well, he's heading upstream.
Well, now, if he's able to fire it up and get it going, he's okay. Remember, you get one 80-mile-an-hour warning before you get disqualified.
Yeah. J. Michael Kelly, defending champ of the Graham Trucking, is trying to get back up on plane.
Meanwhile,
it's trying, and I think he's going to get it. I think he's going to get it. He does.
Meanwhile, at the start-finish line, Brad, give us a time check.
140 to the start. So good marking here.
Perkins on the inside, Tate in lane number 2.
Now
There's
watch
the Alberto in third, and Dustin Eccles coming up fast on the outside, and he's going to cross about the same time Cal Phipps does, and J. Michael Kelly is back in it, but he's well behind, Michael.
He's got to catch up to the rest of the pack.
Or he can cut the race course down here.
Yeah, he could.
This might work out okay for Kelly as Perkins is down here in one.
Is he going to dive? Is he going to dive to the inside? I don't think so.
I don't think he's going to go either, and J. Michael Kelly is not in a good spot. He'll be able to catch up with everybody, but he's not going to be on an inside lane, and he's compressor stalling.
Yes, he is.
1 minute to the start.
It does look like Perkins will get the inside lane as they go down the backstretch. Tate will be in lane 2. We'll see the Alberto in lane 3. J. Michael Kelly, who does not sound right, is going to be in lane 4, while Dustin Eccles will be out in lane 5.
Yeah, he's got some compressor
Look at
stalling.
Eccles on the outside.
Perkins in lane number 1. Eccles on the outside in the bright orange boat. Bucket List Racing is leading the pack up to the top of the course, but he'll have a longer way to go. J. Michael Kelly's put his foot back into it.
Yep, he's caught up to the rest of the field. He's going to be on the outside lane. That's why he's putting his foot down.
25. They're a little early.
Perkins in 1, Tate in 2, Phipps in 3. Then you've got J. Michael Kelly and Dustin Eccles on the outside. So here we come off the exit pin. Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. 5 boats neck to neck. 10 seconds, and they are hitting it hard coming down the front stretch. 4, 3, 2, 1. It's a clean start, and Dustin Eccles with great momentum across the start finish line. Cal Phipps is in lane number 3. He's doing a good job, and J. Michael Kelly is losing power down the front stretch.
Another 3 wide to the corner. He'll Phipps getting it down here. First take on the inside. And then it is Perkins in lane 1. And you've got it. And slowly came out to him off the water, but he's got the shorter track. He's going to get down the stretch. First two faster, but the Alberto able to push it in
in the Les Schwab 9. But Tate's going to be leading by a rooster tail coming down the front stretch. Can Perkins catch him in turn number 1 and turn number 2 at the bottom end of the course?
It's a white flag lap. We're on the last lap here, and it's Andrew. He's down in front. I tell you what, Perkins is driving a great race on the inside. Tate is giving him enough room, and I don't know if Perkins has got enough boat to run him down, but he's going to give him a try.
Perkins got a little bit loose at Tire Factory turn number 2.
Yeah, Dustin Eccles giving him lots of space, though. But yeah, Andrew Tate has been giving plenty of space in the 21 as Perkins tries to run him down, but I don't know if he's going to have enough time or the power.
He's inside the rooster tail coming up the back stretch. Cal Phipps is in 3rd place. Dustin Eccles being lapped now. He's in 4th place. And J. Michael Kelly in the 12 is floating down towards the Blue Bridge. Top end of the course. Can Perkins catch up with Tate? Into Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 at the exit pit. It's going to be Tate leading by a half a rooster tail onto the front stretch with a checkered flag out for CO Energy, heat number 1A. And the checkered flag is out for Andrew Tate. 2nd place for Brian Perkins in the Payne West. Cal Phipps in the Alberto takes 3rd. Dustin Eccles still out of the course with another lap to finish. Will take 4th place.
What a great run by the U21 Payne West Insurance Brian Perkins. As soon as the Graham Trucking went down right at the start, Payne West Insurance boat really took advantage and, boy, gave the 9 a run for it. 9's got a lot of power. Andrew Tate will pick up the checkered flag.
Looks like Perkins is going to stay out on the course, run another lap, maybe just for safety purposes in case anything went hinky with the start.
Fine. Looked clean from here.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they were easily good on the start.
Yep, 4 laps complete, and absolutely fantastic run by Brian Perkins as he was able to maneuver in that race before the race and get into lane number 1. How about that, Brad? That's incredible.
That was awesome. That's a good start. Had some goosebumps going when the vintage boats were on the course. I got some more after that one. It really was a pretty start, and I just feel terrible for JMK.
Yeah. Well, what happened, Brad, was that we know he lost power, and he got it going again, and he gunned it, trying to make a run at the start. I think that last little push really sent it down, because after that he just powered down and has been floating. And the hatch is open, and he looks like the towboat is either in place or about to be there, trying to take him back to the pit area.
But if you're going to have a bad heat, have it at the beginning of the weekend. Don't have it.
Yes. What? Coming up in just a few.
As Dustin Eccles now completes the 4th lap, he was making some maneuvers in the pre-race, and even in that first lap, thought that he could hang with everybody, but he was overtaken, and so now he has crossed the start-finish line to make it official for the 4th place. U440 Bucket List Racing, Dustin Eccles.
So
of the 2018 Columbia Cup, presented by Farmers Exchange in Kennewick.
Back to the broadcast box. Michael McDonald giving me a dirty look at Thompson, a part of the broadcast team, and boy, Brad Luce, Glenn Boggin down in the pit areas, the turn 2, Kevin Rounds, and we're getting ready for heat number 1B. We're going to have 4 boats in the water. What's the status down in the pits, Brad, Glenn?
We're ready to go. We're 1 second mark, 5 minutes. Right there, the boats can come out, and now the noses are starting to tip out toward the center of the river. We've got the U3, the Griggs Ace Hardware, right below us. They are at the upper dock with the other Piston Grand Prix boats. They are away. You can probably hear them in the background. Jimmy Shane is away in the home street bank. Tom Thompson is away. And our last boat down at the dock with Aaron Salmon. Hey, Brad.
but let's go back to the previous heats. I'm sitting here with J. Michael Kelly. J. Michael, what happened out there?
Motor decided she didn't want to hold together anymore. Blew up. And, you know, it's unfortunate because it's not cheap, and it kind of puts this Ram trucking boat in a bad situation now. Now we, you know, our goal is getting that final, and it definitely put us behind on that. So, you know, I got a great group of guys that are going to bust their tails to get this thing back into the show. We'll pull out another bullet out of the trailer or the truck and get it in there, and we'll just go out there and continue on what we're doing. You know, we're definitely going to go out there and try to put on a show and go make it tougher on these guys, and we'll do whatever we can to try getting in that final.
Were you noticing any problems when you were runner this morning?
No, everything's been great. The thing's just been improving all weekend long so far. You know, I didn't notice anything until milling period in that heat, and we cut the course and you know, try to get ourselves in a good spot, and it felt like the fuel control laid down, and it took a while for it to come back, and then when it did come back, there was nothing there, and yeah, I shut it off once we crossed the start-finish line, and it just kept on getting slower, and then when I got out of the boat, that's when I looked in the back, and it does not look good. So.
Now, has your crew indicated that you guys will be back out for the rest of Saturday, or could we wait to Sunday?
No, I mean, we're going to do whatever it takes. I mean, they're definitely not going to give up. We didn't earn this tree last year for, you know, by sitting out, so they're gonna work hard. We're here to go race this weekend, and that's what we're gonna do.
Hey, Glenn,
J. Michael Kelly.
Similar situation right now with Jimmy Shane in the home street, coming up the front stretch, heading down the front stretch. Lost power completely in the home street bank boat, but able to get back on plane. Of note, the 3 is out on the track.
Yeah,
The Go 3 Racing, Jimmy King out on the Columbia River course.
and Jimmy King cut the course in between just after turn 3.
Esco Electric DMZ.
And I think I saw the U1 kind of jerk away a little bit. Wasn't expecting the 3 to be there, and there may have been some washdown on there too, because right after that happened and the 1 crossed the start-finish line, he went dead in the water. He's back up now, and the U3 just crossed the start-finish line. How far are we out, Brad?
2 minutes. 2 minutes. So he definitely cut down, and
Well,
I
he
could
could
even
cut
spin it out. He goes.
Yeah.
He heads across.
Yep, the Esco
Now,
Electric
there is,
DMZ. There goes Jimmy King, cross to the back stretch.
There is some grousing going on the radio here.
I would imagine he might have a penalty.
Between the red 3 and the blue 1.
Yeah.
We're talking here. But right now we haven't got anything. We'll just call it as it is right now with a $135. 135, guys.
So Jimmy Shane in the home street is in lane number 1. Oh, crossing the Esco Electric DMZ, top end of the course. Jimmy King is coming down at the Griggs Ace Hardware. News Radio 610 KONA entry, and down the front stretch.
And do we see the 99.9 out there?
Now the 99.9 is headed back to the trailer.
Okay.
All right, so the home street, Jimmy Shane sitting in 1. Tom Thompson in 2. Here comes King in the piston boat. He will come on the outside with 1 minute, 5 seconds, Kevin. 1:05.
Absolutely. Jimmy Shane's going to get the inside lane, but Tom Thompson's going to be right up next to him, I'm sure. This is going to be a great test for the... They've got maybe the class of the field, certainly the fastest in qualifying with that one boat right next to him.
Is Jimmy King going to try to take lane number 2? Seems like there's some room. No, he's going to settle up on the outside.
I think he'll settle up in lane 3 right now.
All right. Yeah, it looks like Tom Thompson kind of edged over a little bit, but at the exit end of Tire Factory turn 2, there was room. So Jimmy King will be on the outside in the Griggs boat, the 3. Tom Thompson in the 11, Reliable Diamond Tool, JD's, will be in lane 2, and Jimmy Shane
25
in the 1. This home street bank will be in lane number 1. Top end of the course, you pull it Auto Parts turn 3 into Buffalo turn number 4. top end of the course. It's Buffalo Brothers turn number 4, and Jimmy Shane is holding on to a rooster tail lead. I tell you, he's not falling back. Tom Thompson is pushing it pretty good at the 11 outside. The reliable Diamond Tool JD's entering. He's within the rooster tail, heading down the front stretch, and they have 1 to go.
And walking on the sponsors a little bit too was the 11.
Yeah, they both are now. And definitely Tom Thompson's got to be a little bit closer here. He's about halfway back on the rooster tail. I still don't think anything's going to change when Kelly's got him in front here.
Yeah, the right spot. And now Jimmy coming out of the water a little bit right there, flying around start 2. I think he knows the 11 is within a rooster tail now, and he's going to have to push it a little harder than maybe he thought a lap or so ago. But Tom Thompson, he's staying right there with that U1.
He's not going away. He's
Thompson is the rooster tail. He is sending a message to everyone that even though the results may not be in doubt, that he's got a real contender with him on this U11.
Jimmy Shane saw him in the side view mirror.
Yeah, that too. He saw some yellow, so he put his foot down.
So Shane out of the Buffalo Brothers turn number 4 exit pin onto the front stretch, and now he has a rooster tail, a full rooster tail, if not more, lead across the start-finish line. Checkered flag is out for Heat 1B from CO Energy.
Well, an interesting heat. We had one boat that didn't start, then another boat did. And so then it became a 2-boat race, and
Carbon is your home improvement headquarters for the greatest selection at the lowest price. Find your nearest Costless Carbon in Richland, Pasco, Hermiston, or Walla Walla.
Now, back to News Radio 610 KONA's coverage of the 2018 Columbia Cup, presented by Farmers Exchange in Kennewick.
Also thanks to SolGen Power. Have you gone solar yet? If not, why? State and federal incentives combined with easy financing make it possible to go solar today with zero out of pocket. Get a free quote. Check it out. OwnYourPowerSource.com. Also thanks to All Doors Incorporated. Service, repair, they do it all at All Doors Incorporated. Call 547-2158. Highlands. Yes, Ron?
Just going to say 3 minutes.
I'm sorry.
3 minutes and 30 seconds right now to the start of our Heat 2A.
Heat 2A is coming up on News Radio 610 KONA at 610KONA.com. You're home for the Tri-Cities Morning News with Jenna Kokenauer and Glenn Boggett. Starts at 6 a.m. every weekday morning for local news and information. It's News Radio 610 KONA. All right, out on the course, we've got some color out in front of us, Rob.
Yes, we do. We've got the Graham Trucking. We've got the Oberto Beef Jerky. And also coming up on the back end, Dustin Eccles.
The bucket list.
The bucket list.
The 440 heading down the front stretch. So a 3-boat race with the 12 Graham Trucking, J. Michael Kelly, the 1918 Oberto with Cal Phipps, and the 440 bucket list with Dustin Eccles. Countdown is on to Heat 2A from SM El Pueblo Market. Heading over to Tire Factory turn number 2, Kevin Rounds.
Yeah, they seem to be kind of just behaving themselves. They're used to them jockeying for position, and they kind of almost decided JMK was lane 1, the Oberto was lane 2, and Cal Phipps, and then Eccles would be on the outside. For now, right. We got 3 minutes to go, but they were kind of going deck to deck right by you there, and they came here deck to deck as well.
It almost looks like they're setting up for a dash for cash, doesn't it?
It really does.
Right, Brad? It looks kind of tempting.
It does. Coming up on 2 minutes to the start. And right where Kelly is right now, 2 minutes right now, Mark. I mean, Kelly's in control of this thing right now. If nobody wants to run out in front of him real hard, or if nobody wants to slow down and make a left-hand turn in behind him. And we're coming up on 145, so I think we'll see all 3 boats come all the way down here to the lower end of the race course. And we may start this heat the way we left the pit area, and that's the way they are right now in the water, Michael.
Yeah, it was almost a perfect photo op. All the boats were lined up deck to deck to deck. Dustin Eccles is going to take a little bit of a lead heading down the front stretch. And right next to each other, Cal Phipps, J. Michael Kelly. You got the bright red 12 on the inside, the Graham Trucking, the Oberto. Fantastic coloring on that boat. Cal Phipps in that 1918 boat in lane number 2. Eccles way outside in the 440 bright orange boat. Bucket list racing.
Yeah, and he'll get over here to Tire Factory turn 2 first. little bit of boat speed. Now he's got to split it in a little
Mark,
bit.
1 minute.
1 minute to the start. Looks like they're in a really good spot of the course right now to time this out.
They are. They're in a perfect position right now. Dustin Eccles, he's in that smaller boat. He's going to go up there ahead of everybody. He'll stay way wide. He does not want to jump to an inside lane and mix it up with these guys. He'll keep it very wide. Coming up on 40 seconds, Michael, bring him down.
Yeah, do you think that J. Michael Kelly and Cal Phipps are looking at each other? I mean, they're just right next to each other. It's incredible.
Making dinner plans.
Yeah, or pointing fingers. I'm going to get you. All right, top end of the course. Dustin Eccles is way on the outside. He's going to try to plan to have that boat speed when he comes in lane number 5 or 6.
20 seconds.
Backing off the throttle now at 20 seconds before the start of Heat 2A from SNL Pueblo Markets. So you've got J. Michael Kelly on the inside, Cal Phipps in lane number 2, and then way outside, Dustin Eccles. Right as the field down the start finish line. 3, 2, 1. Mark holds for clean, but also Dustin Eccles going to have the lead at least for now. Watch Cal Phipps. He's passing up J. Michael Kelly in lane number 2 coming down the front stretch. Ron Aaron on the bottom, especially under James. Kenny in lane 1. And gets down here first. Kenny is the second out. But it's Kelly with the lead position. Kelly. Absolutely can. James is getting around the third, second, third, and first. But Cal Phipps to be a third. There we go. See on the outside. That is a huge turn. Big up water. Will be a turn number 2. Fire factory turn number 2. The most rated through. Cal Phipps though with the lead heading up the back strip. This is the question we pose. Can Cal Phipps or the Alberto win in lane number 2? J. Michael Kelly's on the inside, and we're going to find out. Dustin Eccles has made it back now. Dustin Roosterfield in the 440. Watch Swift Racing in a couple of others. Turn number 4. It is Cal Phipps in the lead at the exit there of the top-end turn. Going up the front stretch. He's ahead by a half a Roosterfield. Trying to extend that lead. J. Michael Kelly's trying to fight back in the 12th stretch. Can he pinch him? Don't know as they head down the front stretch. The horse goes out of his turn number 1. It's a Roosterfield lead now for Cal Phipps. Cal Phipps is over and out far on Kelly. He doesn't have enough of a lead to move to the inside lane, but he's not holding on to the full Roosterfield. Let's get up, Kelly coming. Absolutely, yeah, Cal Phipps with a lead, fire factory third, 2. And he gets to put on the gas. Right there going back to the end of the Roosterfield and a half down. On the 12. J. Michael Kelly is the 12th race rookie. Lots of lot of speed at the exit there at our fire factory turn number 2 on the back stretch. It's nearly a Roosterfield lead for the Alberto 1918 with Cal Phipps. Up in the fourth lead, first turn number 3, Cal Phipps. Fading back, J. Michael Kelly. You've got to wonder about the Grand Trucking points right now. It's Cal Phipps that will come across the start-finish line, leading this race by 3, maybe 4 Roosterfields at this point, and that boat looks fantastic as it's pulling away early, and he's pulling away late, and now he can actually turn the back off the throttle a little bit, heading down the front stretch. Yeah, he can clearly use any sort of resource to run now, and I think maybe the best is the best part about it with JMK, if he's not having a problem. While the leader's right in front of you, Kevin, but they're beautiful in the exit path. Absolutely, I think he's sitting around in third, lane 2 and lane 3. I doesn't necessarily want to be on this early line, and he's flying up the back stretch to turn 3. JMK is behind him. I think he has the key stuff. He's just going to go ahead and make sure this boat gets the horse on the day, and maybe he gets something lined up for the last one. Yeah, so Cal Phipps now extending his lead from nearly a full straightaway on that back stretch. He's in the usual on the first turn number 3, watching the first turn number 4. A nice, easy ride around the corner on course to complete lap number 2. Dustin Eccles, or lap number 3. Dustin Eccles now there, just at the exit path, fire factory turn number 2. In third place on the back stretch. He will not have the opportunity to play second place away from this one. Grand Trucking with J. Michael Kelly. Breaking down the top end of the course in a couple of others, turn number 4. And it just the boat just doesn't move. Something's missing. And I know they lost an engine and they put another bullet in it. But something is definitely missing, and I don't know. I'm about to hear a little compression stall.
Yeah, I agree with you, Michael. If he was going to let if he was going to let Cal go, that's one thing, but he's half a lap behind right now. Something is definitely askew in our defending champion.
But he needs the points.
He does need the points, and he'll take 300, and he'll be just fine. Once he realized he couldn't run with Calvin, and I think Calvin's got a real piece. He's at the top end of the race course. Bring him home, Michael McDonald.
Yeah, it's a checkered flag lap, and it is out now. And running all the way out towards the shoreline, Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. A great photo op for all the Buffalo Brother fans. Here he comes out of the front stretch. The 1918 Oberto with Cal Phipps taking our checkered flag after 4-lap Heat 2A from SM El Pueblo Market. That is a huge win for this team.
A better time to have solar installed on your home. Paired with the state and federal incentives, we have special financing programs that require zero out-of-pocket. To get your free design, simply visit us at ownyourpowersource.com. That's ownyourpowersource.com.
ESCO of the Tri-Cities is your local electrical specialist. They are experienced, affordable, licensed, and insured. They have been proudly serving the Tri-Cities region since 1972. ESCO Electric is a full-service residential and commercial electrical contracting company. No job is too small or too big. Jerry Boulay, owner and operator, is a master electrician and is on every job to ensure that you receive the best service and customer care. Call them today, 509-547-5504. ESCO Electric.
For the folks at Tire Factory, the most important part of your road trip is arriving at your destination and making it back home safely. Tire Factory has some added peace of mind with Michelin tires, roadside assistance, free flat repair from over 1,800 stores nationwide. Why Michelin? Because choosing tires that last longer saves you time and money. Come into Tire Factory today for a free vehicle safety check. Tire Factory on Dupertail, just off Queensgate in Richland, and 2 locations in Pasco. Trust what you love to Tire Factory.
Now, back to News Radio 610 KONA's coverage of the 2018 Columbia Cup, presented by Farmers Exchange in Kennewick.
Back to the Brentzman's Memorial Barge at the Griggs Ace Hardware start-finish line. Michael McDonald along with Rob Francis. Matty Banner from Mix 105.3. Pit reporters down in the Lamson pits. Thanks to A1 Refrigeration and Heating. Brad Luce, Glenn Boggin. Tire Factory Turn 2, Kevin Rounds. Boats are on the water, and leading up the backstretch now is the 1 Home Street Bank with Jimmy Shane. On the backstretch, just across from us on the Pasco side, is the 9 Andrew Tate Les Schwab tires.
Mike, let me jump in here real quick. We got an issue down here with the 11, the Reliable Diamond Tool presents Miss J&D's. Tom Thompson was having he came away fine, but then the fire went out. He's been trying to light the candle, and it's like he's sitting at ground idle. He can't get it up on a step. He has turned it around and is headed back to the pit area right now. He's got to be up and running in a planing attitude at the 1 minute mark. We are 3:25 to the start. I'll watch him down here.
He's got less than 2.5 minutes to get it going.
And Mike, let me give you one real quick stat, and then I'll let you guys take it, and I'll watch Tom Thompson. This is the 27th time that Jimmy Shane and Andrew Tate have squared off against each other. Shane has won 14, Tate has won a dozen. This is a real rivalry.
This should be a good one. And then you've got Brian Perkins, throw him in the mix. All right, watch our milling period. Let's see if anybody goes across the ESCO Electric infield. It looks like Tate has come around and maybe claimed lane number 1 over by Tire Factory turn number 2, Kevin.
Now he's trying to. Shane was slowed up coming into turn 1, trying to keep that lane 1. Tate jumped out in front of him, crossed over, and now he's in lane 1. In fact, I think they're both in lane 1. Shane just running in his wake there with Perkins out to the right. I think he's going to go ahead and hang out at lane 3 and let these two figure out who's 1 and who's 2.
Well, for now, both are.
Both are 1.
The question is about timing, though, and will Jimmy Shane cut across the course? Will anybody come through the ESCO Electric DMZ? It looks like Perkins going to be satisfied to be outside in lane number 3. That's the way it looks right now. And Tate gets into Euclid Auto Parts turn number 3. And it looks like he's going to hold on to lane number 1 in Buffalo Brothers.
2 minutes.
Turn number 4, and that's going to put Shane in lane number 2, although he comes off the exit pit in lane number 1.
And Thompson's out of it. He's out of the boat.
All right. So Tom Thompson did not start in the U11 Reliable Diamond Tool presents J&D Hydraulics and Repair, so it's a 3-boat shootout. Now here's the question, Brad. You've got 2 boats. Tate
in the 9, well ahead of Jimmy Shane in the 1, home street, but they're both in lane number 1, at least for now.
Yeah, Shane's actually running just a hair outside of him. And the question might be, could Shane cut the course? I don't think he can cut the course from here. The timing is just not right. We're at 1:20. So now he's moved out. Shane has, and he is going to be between these two boats. I think this is the way they're going to come. Kevin, keep an eye on him, but it is Tate in 1, Shane in 2, Perkins on the outside 3.
Yeah, Shane looks like he's gone ahead and conceded lane 1 to the U9 and Andrew Tate as he's moved out to lane 2 here at Tire Factory Turn 2.
Now watch Jimmy Shane. He's lurking well back at the 1 home street bank to have boat speed and maybe not have to be stuck in the tunnel between the rooster tails of the 21 and the 9 when we get to the front stretch here at the start of Heat 2B.
45
El
seconds.
Pueblo Mark.
Suffering from fatigue, brain fog, gut issues, or have rashes, and concerned
SM El Pueblo Market action. News Radio 610 KONA, Kennewick, Richland, Pasco, 610KONA.com, all along the shoreline here in Kennewick and in Pasco on the public address system.
30.
Swimmers need to be out of the water. Patrol boats are doing their job. Thank you for all you do. Volunteers, fantastic work. All right, the countdown is on.
20.
Lane number 1, Tate in the 9. Lane number 2, Shane in the 1. at the top end of the course now with a 2 Rooster Tail lead. At the bottom end of the course, it's Brian Perkins. He's run a nice, smooth race, and he'll finish up with third-place points as he exits Tire Factory turn number 2. Back to Buffalo Brothers turn number 4. Rattlesnake Mountains in the background. A little hazy out there this afternoon. And it's Jimmy Shane in the 1 Home Street Bank down the front stretch. The checkered flag is out, and he will take it in Heat 2B. Brought to you by SM El Pueblo Market. Second place, Andrew Tate in the 9 Les Schwab Tire. Across the start-finish line, still heading into turn number 3, and now turn number 4. It is Brian Perkins in the 21. Darrell Strong presents Payne West Insurance onto the front stretch, and he will gather third-place points. And